Donald Trump gave a lengthy speech when he announced that there would be a truce between the United States and China in the trade war. And in that lengthy speech, as he often does, he went off script and said a bunch of insane things to brag about himself and make himself out to be some incredible person and the best president of all time. Nothing made that clearer than this weird rant he went on when it came to Mount Rushmore. Understand, by the way, before we go to this video, that there are Chinese officials standing next to him. They're there to announce the signing of phase 1 of this trade deal. And this is the weird rant that he decided to go on.
We're gonna do a big fireworks display, right? Mount Rushmore. We're going over, I think I'm gonna try and be there on July 4th. So the governor called, she ran a great race, a tough race. That was a tough competitor you had, right? A big star. But she was a bigger star, it turned out, Lindsay. But she said, do you think we can get fireworks back at Mount Rushmore? I said, why? They haven't been there for 20 years. I said, why? Environmental reasons. I said, you mean you can't have fireworks because of the environment? Yeah, environmental reasons. I said, what can burn? It's stone, it's stone, it's ground. So nobody knew why. They just said environmental reasons. So I called up our people, and within about 15 minutes, we got it approved, and you're gonna have your first big fireworks display at Mount Rushmore, and I'll try and get out there if I can, okay?
What? I mean, I was watching this speech live, and I was like, here's Mount Rushmore, by the way.
Stone.
There it is.
Wait, what's that green stone at the bottom? Oh my God, there's green stones sprouting up all over the place.
Green stones everywhere. Right, okay.
It's surrounded by a forest.
Okay, so this is crazy, and I just assumed that he was lying about all of this. He is lying about a lot of it. Let me just note that he is not gonna go to Mount Rushmore for the 4th of July. That is, I would be shocked if that were to happen. Can you imagine Trump saying, like, you know what, I'm not gonna go to Mar-a-Lago, I'm gonna go to South Dakota.
Yep.
He's not gonna do that. He doesn't care about South Dakota, doesn't care about Mount Rushmore, doesn't even care about this issue, which is why it's so strange that out of nowhere he decided to start talking about this.
Yeah.
So I, of course, wanted to look this up and see if there was any truth to it. Apparently in May of last year, the governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, announced that they would bring back the fireworks. Back in 2009, they stopped doing fireworks at Mount Rushmore because they were concerned about wildfires. Okay, and given the fact that there have been extreme weather conditions caused by climate change, and that has led to out of control fires, it's probably smart to not have fireworks in an environment where it's likely to start a fire. And so she announced this back in 2019, May of 2019. It turns out that the state had struck some sort of deal with the Department of Interior, and they agreed under the Trump administration that they would allow the fireworks to happen. Yeah. Okay, that's what's going on. That was May of last year. It is now January of 2020. Why is he randomly talking about this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it came to his mind, but I think I know why he's talking about it at this meeting.
This is about signing a trade deal with China. That's the whole reason why there's a Chinese official next to him.
Some of those products are fireworks. Let me ask you a random question. Is there anything, like, sometimes you'll get really into something and like you wanna talk about it with somebody? Like, what's something you wanna talk about with somebody right now?
My dog.
Your dog, or Deep House.
Or Deep House.
Or the cheating scandal in MLB, or whatever. You just wanna talk, okay, and you'll do that because you are in a relationship with someone you love and you have friends. What if you didn't have any of that?
Oh, that's a good theory.
And you had a camera shoved in your face occasionally and a whole bunch of people had to be there.
But this is,
you might sometimes rant because you're desperate to talk to a human.
We all know everyone hates Trump, including people who pretend like they like him. So I think that there's some validity to what you're saying. But Trump is campaigning nonstop. Everything he does is part of his campaign. So even though this is supposed to be about a trade deal with China, he has used this opportunity to talk about a host of nonsense, including like he wants to make himself out to be like this big patriot, right? I'm the big patriot who's bringing fireworks back to an environment that is likely to start a wildfire. I am very proud of myself, and you should be too.
Well, another alternative explanation is I mean, you might have noticed that he's been talking a lot about light bulbs and pipes. So it might be that what he has found is, I want to pretend to my audience that I'm doing something to help them. I'm standing betwixt them and the government, and I don't want to actually change anything fundamental about healthcare or their loans, debt, anything like that.
Right.
But I can give them bad light bulbs, and I can like blast them with water, and these fireworks restrictions, damn lib government's always stopping you from shooting fireworks.
You make a really good point. In fact, I have some evidence to reinforce what you just said. Now, this was not during his speech in regard to the trade deal, but he's been talking about dishwashers a lot. Let's watch.
But I'm also approving new dishwashers that give you more water so you can actually wash and rinse your dishes without having to do it 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That was during a recent Trump rally in Milwaukee. And
how high is his IQ? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That was amazing. But like, what's even more incredible is how riled up the crowd is. Like,
they
woo,
love it.
woo, dishwashers. Wait, did we have any problems with our dishwashers? Oh God.
Like seriously, do you believe in the past 30 years? Do you think he's pressed the button to start a dishwasher in 30 years? No, you gotta do it 10 times. Even if, let's say that there wasn't enough water flowing, the solution wouldn't be.
It's amazing because he'll give them nothing and they get so excited about it.
Well, I was saying after the damage report, they have been trained to think that the government won't ever help them. And even if the government did try to do something, it would be a big failure. So he can't really promise anything from the government's point of view. They don't think that that's really possible. They trust him on the white identity stuff. And they think, well, it doesn't matter if he's talking about dishwashers or whatever. He's gonna ban Muslims from coming in, and he certainly hates people from south of the border. So we got that. Okay, now give me a show. And so it's like when when I would go to like a Brian Regan show, people are yelling out, do the one about the yellow one is the sun. Like your favorite comedian's got bits you like, so you shout it out. He's got stupid bits about light bulbs and fireworks and stuff.
Oh, it's so depressing.
And if your expectations for improvement of your life, even from your chosen leader, are buried in the earth's crust, then sure, you just go and you have fun. You get drunk and you listen to him talk about how your toilet won't flush. It's funny, you know?
Man.
It's funny, the joke's on us, but it's funny.
This is so depressing. All right, well, he also talked about how he was told that he's the smartest president, the best president this country has ever had, even better than Washington. This is during his trade deal speech. And it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. I don't even know what else to say about it. I mean, it's entertaining. It would be entertaining if it was like some other country. But this is the man representing the United States on an international stage with foreign officials surrounding him as he's talking about something that has a real impact on farmers here in the US. And it's just crazy because his self-perception is actually so sad because he knows he's a failure. He probably hears his father in his head constantly telling him that he's a failure, that he's bad, he's a baby, whatever it is. And so he overcompensates by saying all these ridiculous things about himself.
Yeah.
But he has an opportunity. I mean, he is the leader of the most powerful country in the world, right? And he has the ability to do amazing things that do lead to real love, real appreciation toward him. And he squanders those opportunities and chooses to focus on self-enrichment, violating the Constitution, dismantling our democracy, destroying freedom of speech and freedom of press, and also, dumbing down Americans. That's what he does. That's who Trump is, and it's really sad.
And it's also possible, I mean, as vain as he is, as much as he wants to be recognized in literally every way, there's a possible, like maybe he's bringing up Mount Rushmore constantly because he wants to like put it out there. Like, yeah, maybe another face on Mount Rushmore. Maybe. Look, one other thing I want to say that we talked about a little bit on the damage report when we were talking about this. Stage manager Skip gave us the idea. If you if you're this obsessed with pipes and water, there are serious issues with water quality and access to water in the United States. You could fix that. And think about if instead of $18 billion being spent on building the wall, if he took $50 or $100 billion and fixed every single lead pipe across America, put to work God knows how many people, and made the future for our children across the country better and brighter and safer, he would get so much credit. The media would be tripping over themselves to talk about how presidential it was, and
100%.
he finally solved this problem that nobody else could solve, and he could totally do it. The Senate would vote in favor of it, the House would vote in favor of it. It would be a huge win. It would buttress him going into the general election, even if he just got it started by then. But he doesn't do it because he wants the recognition, but he doesn't do simple, easy, unobjectionable things to actually get there.
So sad.
TYT is all about challenging and disrupting the status quo, and so is aspiration. Aspiration does not invest your money into fossil fuel businesses that harm our planet, such as pipelines and oil drilling. Instead, you'll be able to fight climate change with tools like AIM, the Aspiration Impact Measurement, and Planet Protection. They also don't hit you with outrageous fees for you to access your own money. You can even earn cash back and get free ATM uses up to 5 times a month. Head to aspiration.com/TYT to learn more. For a limited time, get 30 days of free TYT membership when you sign up.